Today, we are making some Korean barbecue inspired party ribs. I'm using the word inspired mainly because this isn't traditional Korean barbecue, but these ribs, I'm not kidding, are some of the best ribs I have ever eaten in my life. So let's start these up. And like every party rib recipe out there, it's gonna start with a rack of ribs that you'll want to slice and separate out each bone. I am no stranger to hot and fast party ribs. I made them on the Vortex, on the SNS Grill, and I'm a huge fan of this style of cooking. But today, we are cooking them on the Weber Smokey Mountain, but more on that later. After we slice, we are putting some Korean barbecue sauce. Link is down in the description. This marinade is delicious. Although it's made for beef, it was fantastic on some chicken that I made the other day. And I'm sure it's gonna be delicious on some pork. I'm making some adjustments though. And I'm bringing in some fresh ingredients into the mix. First, I'm adding some pepper. Now, if you're using a pre-made marinade like I am, you should always consider bringing in some fresh ingredients to make it amazing. Now, it's gonna still be faster than making a marinade yourself from scratch, but it's gonna be much better than straight out of the bottle. Now, for our fresh ingredients, I'm dropping in some diced green onion. Make sure I leave the last bit of the stem for tomorrow when I need some garnish. I'm also chopping up some fresh ginger. Make sure to chop as small as you can. You will want to chop some fresh garlic as well. Now these three fresh ingredients aren't groundbreaking by any means, but they do make a difference. Let's drop these in and give it a good mix. I'm also gonna add a little bit of water to thin out the marinade. I thought about putting these in a bag to seal, but instead I'm gonna put them in a food safe container. Put a little plastic wrap, and then I'm gonna put them in the fridge overnight. The next day, I'm gonna start the Weber Smokey Mountain for some direct grilling action. First, I'm gonna pour some fresh charcoal over this leftover charcoal from my last cook. And I'm dropping in a split of mesquite wood. Let's light it up. Using a grill gun for this really speeds everything up. Once lit, let's drop in our midsection. Now, as you can see, dropping in the midsection instantly creates a nice trap of oxygen and our fire is getting really hot. Let's place in our lid. Now this is gonna limit the draft a bit and the fire gets a bit more manageable. I'm keeping the door open this entire time. Next time, I'm gonna consider putting the door in or at least partially in to help control the fire a little bit more. I might also experiment with placing in a smaller piece of wood here. I am still in experimenting mode with this style of cooking, but it's looking like a real winner. As you can see in the temp gauge, it went past this maximum level. So I'm guessing it's anywhere close to 500 degrees. It's crazy hot. Let's drop in our marinated ribs. And then drop in the last bit of our marinade. Let's cover. When cooking this hot, do not leave your food unattended. You'll want to flip every few minutes. The first part of this cook is not going to take very long. Now for longer cooks, and if your heat dies down a little bit, drop in a few wood chunks to keep things hot. I wouldn't drop in a full piece of wood at this point. Just a few chunks here and there is all you need. You'll want to flip and rotate every 5 to 10 minutes. I did it about 5 times in the span of 30 minutes, and by then, they had enough color to take them into the next phase. Place them in a tray. Add more of that marinade, and remember to thin it all out by adding some water. Cover with foil, and then place back on the grill. I'll check in 15 minutes and rotate, mix around in the tray, and cover again, and let them keep braising. The temp did drop a bit due to placing the door back on the WSM. This decreased the airflow and got them to settle to a nice braising temperature about 350 degrees, give or take. About 45 minutes into this braise, the ribs were probing very tender. Let's remove them all, but let's also plate some of these ribs. And there they are. Remember that green onion stem I told you to save last night? This is where you chop it up and sprinkle them on top. Delicious, delicious Korean barbecue inspired ribs. Scoop out some of that delicious sauce left on the tray, which should have thickened up nicely. And now pour them over the ribs. Ooh, this looks incredible. And it smells fantastic. Let's eat. These ribs were packed with flavor. I'll definitely be making these again. A nice clean bite, as you can see, and they're very, very tender. I can't get enough of these ribs. I think I'm gonna make 2 racks next time, so when we have guests over, they could enjoy them. Rib bone is nice and clean.
Damn, that's good.
A nice sign that these were cooked to perfection. Now, if you wanna see more cooks using this method, leave me a comment down below and check out this next video. I'll see you on the next one.